In the summer of 1944, the Pacific theater of World War II was ablaze. The United States, determined to reclaim its territories from Japanese control, set its sights on Guam, a small but strategically vital island in the Mariana Islands. The Battle of Guam, fought from July 21 to August 10, 1944, was a pivotal moment in the Pacific Campaign, enabling the U.S. to strike at the heart of Japan. In this documentary, we'll explore the battle in 10 chapters, from its historical roots to its lasting legacy. Let's dive into the story of courage, sacrifice, and strategic triumph. Guam, a lush 225-square-mile island, was the largest of the Mariana Islands, claimed by Spain in 1565 and ceded to the U.S. in 1898 after the Spanish-American War. By 1941, it was home to 23,400 people, mostly indigenous Chamorro, who were U.S. nationals but not citizens. With its coral reefs, cliffs, and Apra Harbor, Guam was a natural fortress. However, its small garrison of 400 U.S. Marines and Navy personnel was no match for the Japanese, who seized the island on December 10, 1941, days after Pearl Harbor. For over 2 years, the Chamorro endured harsh Japanese occupation, setting the stage for a dramatic American return. Why was Guam so critical? The island's location in the Mariana Islands made it a linchpin in the Pacific. U.S. planners saw it as a base for naval operations, and crucially, for the new Boeing B-29 Superfortress bombers, which could reach Japan's home islands from Guam. Operation Forager, the U.S. campaign to capture the Marianas, aimed to cripple Japan's naval air power and establish air bases for strategic bombing. Guam's Apra Harbor and potential airfields made it a prime target, but its recapture would come at a high cost. By 1944, Japan had fortified Guam with about 18,500 troops under Lieutenant General Takeshi Takashina. The 29th Division, 48th Independent Mixed Brigade, and naval units like the 54th Kabutai were stationed to protect key areas, including Apra Harbor and airfields. With tanks, artillery, and defenses concentrated around Agana and Agat, the Japanese were prepared for a fierce fight. Lieutenant General Hideyoshi Obata, stranded on Guam after the fall of Saipan, oversaw the broader defense. The stage was set for a brutal showdown. The U.S. assembled a formidable force under Admiral Chester W. Nimitz, with Vice Admiral Raymond A. Spruance commanding the Fifth Fleet. The invasion, codenamed Stevedore, was led by Major General Roy S. Geiger's 3rd Amphibious Corps, including the 3rd Marine Division, 1st Provisional Marine Brigade, and the Army's 77th Infantry Division as reserve. The plan: land on both sides of the Araut Peninsula to secure Apra Harbor. However, the Battle of the Philippine Sea and fierce resistance on Saipan delayed the invasion from June 18 to July 21, 1944, allowing more time for preparation, but testing the troops' endurance aboard cramped transports. Before the landings, the U.S. unleashed the longest preliminary bombardment of any Pacific Island campaign. Starting July 8, battleships, cruisers, and aircraft carriers pounded Japanese defenses, firing thousands of shells and dropping over 1,000 tons of bombs. Underwater demolition teams cleared beach obstacles, facing danger to ensure safe landings. Despite poor maps and incomplete aerial reconnaissance, the U.S. was determined to overwhelm the Japanese. On July 21, 1944, W-Day, the invasion began with a massive naval barrage and airstrikes. At 08:28 on July 21, U.S. forces hit the beaches. The 3rd Marine Division landed at Asan, north of the Araut Peninsula, while the 1st Provisional Marine Brigade landed at Agat to the south. Japanese artillery and mortars met them with fierce resistance, pinning down troops and destroying landing vehicles. The coral reef forced troops to wade ashore or rely on scarce amphibious vehicles, complicating supply lines. Despite heavy fire, the Americans established beachheads, but progress was slow and costly. The Araut Peninsula, home to a Japanese airfield, was the key objective. By July 25, the 1st Provisional Brigade cut off the peninsula, but Japanese counterattacks, including a desperate banzai charge, tested American resolve. Over 4 days, Marines and Army tanks cleared bunkers and minefields, facing fanatical resistance. On July 29, the peninsula was secured, and the American flag was raised over the Marine barracks in a poignant ceremony. The victory came at a cost: 115 Marines killed and over 700 wounded. Exhausted and low on supplies, the Japanese retreated to Guam's rugged interior. From August 2 to August 4, a major engagement at Mount Barrigada broke their main defensive line. By August 7, the 77th Infantry Division linked up with the Marines, uniting the beachheads. The Japanese, under General Obata, made a final stand at Mount Santa Rosa, but by August 10, organized resistance ended. Obata committed suicide, and an estimated 7,500 Japanese soldiers remained at large, hiding in the jungle. The Battle of Guam was a decisive American victory, with 11,340 Japanese killed and 1,190 Marines and 177 soldiers dead by August 10. The Chamorro population, freed from Japanese concentration camps, faced malnutrition and hardship but welcomed liberation. Guam became a major U.S. base, with airfields hosting B-29s that bombed Japan, hastening the war's end. However, Japanese holdouts persisted, with some surrendering as late as 1972, like Sergeant Shoichi Yakai, who lived in a cave for 28 years. The recapture of Guam transformed it into a cornerstone of U.S. Pacific strategy, hosting naval and air bases that supported the war's final campaigns. On August 1, 1950, Guamanians gained U.S. citizenship, and the island became an unincorporated territory with its own governor. Liberation Day, July 21, remains a cherished holiday on Guam. The battle showcased American resilience and strategic brilliance, but also the heavy toll of war, with over 600 civilian deaths and thousands of military casualties. Guam's story is one of sacrifice, liberation, and enduring significance. The Battle of Guam was more than a military victory. It was a turning point in the Pacific War and a testament to the courage of soldiers, Marines, and the Chamorro people. Its legacy lives on in Guam's role as a U.S. stronghold and in the annual Liberation Day celebrations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Subscribe for more stories of valor and strategy, and share your thoughts in the comments below.